Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today I discovered Olivier salad and after one bite I can definitely say that I am hooked. And so between plate number 3 and plate number 4 I am going to take a break from stuffing my face to sit down and watch ACCM playing as the Mongols in blue take on Dark playing as the Lithuanians in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Castle Age, because we are back in Empire Wars mode today, a good time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Mongols are a fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units, take a look, come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Some of their mounted units get progressively more HP as the game goes on. And their unique unit is the fast-firing siege sniping mounted archer murder machine that we know as the Mangadi. Now, to keep their cavalry, rather to keep up with their cavalry, the Mongols can upgrade their siege units to move 50% faster, which does make them look like little bumper cars on the screen. And economically, their hunters work faster and their houses can be upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. And speaking of destroying Mongol houses, let's take a look at his opponent Dark as the Lithuanians in red as he shoos away this Mongol observer on the right as another Mongol scout moves in on the left. Now, the Lithuanians are a civilization that likes their cavalry heavy. Their knights, their cavaliers, their paladins all get a free +1 attack boost for every relic that they collect, up to a maximum of 4. And that, by the way, free attack boost also applies to their unique unit, the Latus. This is a heavy cavalry unit whose attack actually ignores enemy armor. Now, to keep up with their army as it runs around the map, Lithuanian spearman line units and skirmishers do move faster than normal, and both can be upgraded to get extra pierce armor. Economically, each Lithuanian town center does provide 100 food for free, and their settlement can be much harder to raid since they can upgrade their town centers to get 3 extra range, which keeps them nice and safe from a lot of Castle Age mangonel attacks. Those are the two civilizations. It looks like Dark at the moment is pulling a boar with an archer. Now we've seen boar pulls with scouts, we've seen boar pulls with villagers. We've seen boar pulls with all manner of creatures and warriors and army, but I don't think I've ever seen a boar pull with an archer. Now, the cool thing about that, the boar, which comes with I'm trying to click the boar before it dies. Of course, I don't. That boar, ooh, by the way, first kill of the game goes to that Lithuanian spearman, which, by the way, take a look, moves at 1.1, which is 10% faster than normal, does manage to catch up to these scouts. So I was going to look at the boar. They do come with a slew of attack bonuses, camels, cavalry, etc. I don't think they come with any attack bonus against archer units. So maybe the archer is actually not a terrible unit to pull the boar with. In any event, the boar is underneath the town center. It's getting harvested. And so good time for us to take a look very quickly at the map, as it seems like the Mongol is already intent on putting a bunch of pressure here in the Feudal Age as our Lithuanian heads up to Castle. Now, if you're wondering why the hell is he rushing up to Castle so fast, number 1, never a bad idea to rush up to Castle if you can. Number 2, remember every single relic that the Lithuanians collect does give them a free +1 attack boost for their heavy cavalry up to a maximum of 4 relics and +4, which, by the way, they need if they want to enter the late stages of the game, because they are missing the last melee attack upgrade, which is Blast Furnace. Now, to help them do this, their monasteries do work 20% faster. Oh, look at that. Evening up the kill count are these Mongol archers. Okay, so tit for tat at the 6.5-minute mark of the game. As I mentioned, to help you collect the relics a little bit faster, Lithuanian monasteries do work 20% faster, so they can pump out those monks a little bit quicker. And so you can have a lot more monk presence out on the map. I wouldn't be surprised if in 22 seconds, the second our Lithuanian hits Castle Age, we're going to see a monastery. The name of the game for the Lithuanians is collect the relics. The name of the game against the Lithuanians is to deny them relic collection. And now the Mongol says, hey, good idea, actually. I like what you've done there. I like what you've done with the idea of pulling a boar with an archer unit. As long as I can stay within his line of sight, no real risk of running away. The movement speed of the archer is not quite as fast as the scout, which always runs the risk of running outside the boar's line of sight. But the archer seems to be just perfectly... The pace of the archer seems to be just absolutely perfect. Where, oh, where is your monastery, Mr. Lithuanian? Oh, look at that. Never mind, I'm wrong. Never mind, I'm right. There's the the Lithuanian monastery with the red Ark of the Covenant about to be lowered into its secret hiding spot as a second town center goes up. Our Mongol is still 8 seconds away from reaching the next age. Both of them on the same exact population in terms of economy, and basically the same exact population in terms of military. And now he's being attacked by a bear. So a lot of wildlife action so far on the map, not a lot of military versus military, as our Mongol expands very far afield. And our Lithuanian sees that the mill is here. Will he catch wind of the town center? No, he misses the villagers right as they move. That is incredibly lucky for ACCM. Let's take a look at the actual map, because we are on Karsts today. Not exactly the easiest word to pronounce. Is he going to catch wind of it now? No, he's not. Maybe if he goes after this relic, he will. But no monks being trained at the moment. Why is this map called Karsts? Well, because you see these ground beef looking chunks on the map. This map always reminds me of one of my favorite pizza combinations of ground beef and pepperoni. These are called Karsts. And around these karsts, strewn about on all of them, are a bunch of stone, a bunch of gold. So a lot of scarce resources all clustered around. Very unfortunately clustered, in the sense that, you know, they're not really all together. But, you know, luckily for the Armenians and the Georgians, they have that mobile mining camp on the back of a donkey. Everyone else is going to have to build either a town center or a mining camp, or maybe do some long distance mining. Looks like a bunch of Mongols. These scout units have bitten the dust. And the kill count now stands 5-3 for our Lithuanian. It looks like, by the way, our Mongol did lose a unit to Mother Nature, having lost 6. No relics yet. One monk is out for a Lithuanian, and he is definitely going to be collecting those relics, because he is out here with knights, and a lot of knights. He's up to 9 of them. Bit of a feudal age scuffle still occurring on the western portion of the map. Where is his monk going to go, by the way? So he's going to go after the center relic first. Has he seen the relic that's closer to home? Yeah, he has. He's seen 1, 2, 3. He's actually seen all 4 of the 5 relics that are out on the map. Now our Mongol, knowing that the Lithuanian needs the relics, doesn't really want, he needs those relics if he wants to contend with the more powerful Mongol cavalry. Is going to have to go. I don't say why. I said Wiz Khalifa over here. Why? He's going to have to go knights. And if your opponent has to go knights and you're the Mongols, well, why don't you train yourself some camels? Monk is a little bit exposed here. Now, a nifty feature about this map is the just sheer amount of resources. Take a look at this. 20,000 almost stone, 66,000 gold. That is a ridiculous amount of gold. What you don't see is a lot of wood. There's just about as much gold as there is wood on this map, which is not something you see every day. But these karsts, man, these pockets of ground beef, man, are they rich. This is not lean ground beef. This is not extra lean ground beef. This is full fatty ground beef coming with a lot of stone, a lot of gold. Let's take a look at what the players are doing as they've disengaged. And I'm going to try to keep my mind off of food, which is a tall order. But if anyone can do it, yours truly can. As another Mongol scout, a Mongol scout gets pushed away by none other than a converted camel. That flipped my mind a little bit. Why am I seeing a red camel? My brain couldn't comprehend. It looks like, by the way, our Mongol has gotten 1 relic to the one of his opponent. And so ACCM just needs to deny 1 more relic, which explains perhaps why he's fighting tooth and nail over the center location. But unfortunately for him, he will see the monk with that extra line of sight on the light cavalry unit. And so he can no longer deny this particular relic. What about the relic that was here? Who got this relic? Camel is chasing this unit, but 1.7 movement speed. Oh, why did you turn around? You turned around, you got a left tap, and you died immediately. So far, army count for our Lithuanian is just starting to get a little bit out of control. He's got 2 relics. And like I said, if you can deny a bare minimum of 2 relics for the Lithuanians, you're in a fantastic spot. They really do need all 4 if they... I mean, they need 2 just to get the blast furnace. Then they need 3 to get 1 above blast furnace and 4 to really get up to the maximum. So if you really want to be really, really mean, you got to deny all 5 relics. Who's kidding who? But so far, 1 relic. Our Lithuanian has 3. Somewhere out on the map is a monk. Trying to see, is it a... It's unfortunate. Oh, no, look at that. I was going to say it's unfortunate when there are 2 units and you click them on capture age, if they're not clumped one next to the other, it takes you to the middle point between them. And in this case, it did that, but we still managed to get to see the monks. So the most our Lithuanian can really attack on now is a +5. If he gets iron casting, that'll give him +2 on these knights. And then 3 relics gives him +3, which is why you'll see right now he's at a +4 with only forging. That being said, +3, +4, +1, +1,000,000 doesn't matter. Look at the army count. He's got 20 knights. His opponent has 6 camels. And his opponent, ACCM, is trying to desperately wall this off. Monks bite the dust as well here as they try to get some conversions. He's got a castle up, but it is nowhere close to the action. It is pumping out Mangudai, which is probably not what you really want at this point. Mangudai, as good as they are, as powerful as they are for a cavalry archer, against heavy cavalry like knights, cavaliers, paladins, I'm not too sure that they're going to add really the DPS that makes it worth the while to go, you know, first of all, get a castle and then invest in the Mangudai. Although he's not getting upgrades as ACCM for now. He's just relying on brute force. We've got 15 camels to 21 knights. Elite skirmishers and iron casting on the way. Elite skirmishers must be for the monks. Although they could also be very helpful against camels. Don't forget camels, they're base armor. I say don't forget as if I'm talking, as if you've forgotten. I've forgotten. Or I should have forgot to mention. Camel base armor is terrible. 0/0 base armor of any kind. And now our Lithuanian is here. This is absolutely a ridiculously powerful push by him. How many knights in the forward position? 18 knights, 3 monks. How's the faith on the monks? Slowly regenerating little by little. And if he can convert 3 camels, that is a 6-unit swing. That army count will go from 11 to 8. And this army count will go from 18 to 21. And 21 to 8 is not a good ratio at all. Oh, wait a second. A few camels on garrison from the stable down to the south, but not too sure where they're going. Maybe just pulling them away. Maybe trying to lure these red knights out of position. Okay, he's wasting his faith trying to convert a villager who instead dies. What's the HP on these knights? They've been around here for a long time. 2,400. They're down about 400 HP. They're continuously being healed up by these monks who are moving around with them as they run around trying to get as much infrastructure, but they're attacking houses. The longer this goes on for our Lithuanian, I don't know that he can necessarily really push into this. Now there's a castle at home. He's continuing to go Mangudai. I'm very curious as to why ACCM is going Mangudai. Is it to snipe the monks? Is it just because he doesn't have the food to continuously produce camels? Not exactly Byzantine level discounts here on these camel riders. ACCM is down 30 villagers. Big surprise there. He has been pressed into and under pressure for about the entire game so far, or at least the vast majority of the game. Bring these camels. Do something with these camels. How many knights are left in the forward position? 23. The monks, full faith. And here we go. Okay, so it is to snipe the monks. Oh, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, and he loses a Mangudai to conversion. Oh, no. Absolutely terrible. And he's taking an absolutely atrocious fight underneath that town center up there. Mangudai come in from the right side as well. And look at the army count. Look at the total population. 130 villagers to 137 army count to 12. Action on the left as the knights and the converted camel try to bust their way in here. They finally do, but then the camel decides, hey, I'm going to join my friends here and do absolutely nothing, contribute absolutely nothing. Another villager dies. Mangudai, have they gotten any kills? No kills at all. And now they're going to get denied by these skirmishers as well. Remember, these are Lithuanian skirmishers. They do move 10% faster. Instead of 0.96, 1.06. And by the way, that 10% is very noticeable, even to the naked eye. And now he's going after the monks with his skirmishers. He gets them even without ballistics. And oh no, northern settlement depopulated, center being pushed into. But how will Dark deal with this castle? He's got nothing here to really push into that castle with, and he's going up to Imperial Age. ACCM is nowhere close. Does Dark even have a castle to train a trebuchet out of? Or is this just going to be one of those scenarios where he hits Imperial and ACCM says, oh shit? Let's find out. We're gonna find out in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Skirmishers attacking the villagers who are repairing. And now they move into the safety, and at 20%, the town center evicts its tenants, and the villagers have to get out of here. Now, I guess instead of going after the castle, Dark can say, oh, that's very cool. I like your big blue squircle here where you're safe and protected. Why don't you just stay right there? In the meantime, I'm going to just start going around the map and killing your houses, killing your villagers. I don't think Nomad was researched, and so whenever these houses are destroyed, the population goes down with them. Yeah, it went from 115 to 110. Nomads is, I think after Great Wall, one of the least seen upgrades, unique technologies in the entire game. Camel versus Knight. Lithuanian gets cleared up to the back. He lost a whole bunch of knights here. Wait a second. All of a sudden, army count is 22 to 33. And he is seen. He has seen all of this. Okay, forest has been depopulated, which means villagers are free to move south, which makes them safe. But again, wood, if you're going to go Mangudai, you better have a very safe source of wood for yourself, because the Mangudai is 55 wood. Looks like he's trying to counter over here, but he runs into some skirmishers. The added mobility of skirmishers for the Lithuanians makes them able to react to things like cavalry archers, i.e. Mangudai, very, very well. Now this town center is under attack, and again, yeah. Wow. You know, I was wondering for a while, there's a couple of civilizations I really want to see. Oh, this could have been very bad for Dark. He's moving forward, 11 villagers on stone. Not enough gold to buy the stone. Okay, never mind. He's already plopped down his castle. Oopsie doopsie. This could have been very bad. ACCM could have gotten 10, 17. No, never mind. I'm including these miners. He could have gotten potentially 15 villagers here. Now, the camels aren't going to kill them, but the Mangudai is. One thing the Mangudai is not going to do is do any damage to this knight that has 4 pierce armor with your 8 attack. That's 4 damage. 4 damage to a unit that has 120 HP. You need 30 Mangudai to one-shot a knight, which means 3 Mangudai are going to take about, I don't know. Doesn't really matter because the game's over. Take a long-ass time to kill those knights. And so that's why I was really questioning the transition into Mangudai. I get why you want castles against the heavy cavalry running by. They're not the quickest on their feet, so you can fire an extra volley or two. He does have a safe wood line, so I'm not too sure why he decided to expand very riskily all the way over here. Why did he not expand over here, for example, and put a castle here? ACCM going for a bit of a very, very aggressive, and Dark discovers it, and Dark punishes it. Mangonel in here is going to do absolutely jack nothing. Oh, man. Now with this castle here in Imperial, you know what? I'm looking at this screen in front of us, and I'm thinking, oh, this could have been really, really good for ACCM. But then I'm thinking from ACCM's perspective, he sees these villagers. He knows exactly what this means. All of us know exactly what this means. So he's now thinking, shit, now there's going to be a castle drop on top of all of this. My action here to the east has been denied. You're probably going to have skirmishers to deal with this, although camels against skirmishers, always a big question mark. And now you're going to castle drop me. So maybe instead of seeing this and getting all greedy and hungry, oh, look how many villagers I can kill, he was thinking, oh shit, now there's 15 villagers moving to my side of the map, and he's an Imperial. I have 300 food in the bank, and I need to train camels, and I have 200 wood in the bank, and I need to train Mangudai, and I don't have the gold to do all 3, to go up to Imperial, to train camels, and to train Mangudai, and now you're going to drop a castle and start pumping out Trebs. So maybe he saw this and realized that he was about to get castle dropped, even though, is this really a castle drop? It's so far away from the settlement. But man, like I was about to say before I went down a complete different rabbit hole and interrupted myself, I really was curious to see how well the Lithuanians perform in Empire Wars, because if they can get that monastery, that 20% faster working monastery, there are maps in Empire Wars in Red Bull Wololo that do have more than 5 relics, more than the usual 5 relics. And so that makes relic denial very, very difficult. And relic denial, like I said, if you don't want to face Late Chai with a +6 attack, relic denial is definitely the name of the game against the Lithuanians. Camels to knights, Mangudai to skirmishers, monk to monk. And so this counters this one counters that one. at the end of the day, let's take a look at the kill count. Yeah, our Lithuanian just killed way too much. 48 villagers. What is going on lately? We've seen it with Mr. Yo and Vivi. We saw it with Hera the other day. Now we're seeing it with ACCM. All of these top players are just absolutely losing hordes of villagers. 48 villagers explains why our Lithuanian... Okay, it actually doesn't really explain why he's ahead. Oh my God, 70 villagers. Even if you add back that 48, he'd be down 22 villagers. But I guess that's the name of the game when you're the one putting on all of the aggression and there's literally nothing happening on your side of the map, and you can just micro your economy, or rather macro your economy to your heart's content, while it's your opponent who's running around idling his villagers, running from this town center to that town center, from the safety of this destroyed town center up to here, not too sure what the Mangonel is going to do again, and all of a sudden the villager's very exposed. I like the strategy of putting castles next to Karsts. That's something that I first saw Hera doing. Next to each Karst, he basically put a castle, and he was very, very safe doing that. But let's take a look at the stats. Man, the Lithuanians, there's some civilizations in this game on some map types that you really need to bear hug them and make sure they do not have even an inch of space. It's like when my 1-year-old is throwing a little tantrum and he's throwing his little hands this way, that way, he's kicking with his feet with all his might, and I'm just being the big annoying dad, and I'm trying to hug him, and I'm holding him close. That's exactly what you have to do with the Lithuanians to make sure that they do not get 74 knights out in 25 minutes. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Peak APM beginning, peak APM towards the end of the game for the victor. And how bad do we think the economy was? Oh, mamma mia. Ignore the relics. That's what, like a 400 gold difference. That is ridiculous. There's your 70 villager difference, even though surprisingly our Mongol prioritizing stone with not a single stone wall anywhere on the map. And so ACCM dies, GG's, taps out with 655 stone, enough for another castle. Did not create the safety zones that he really needed. And even if he did, these knights now attack on a 15. When's the last time you saw a castle age knight attacking on a 15? And by the way, in a minute, he's going to be an Imperial Age Cavalier attacking on much higher. And so once he... where's the monastery, by the way? I'm surprised, a little bit surprised, seeing it over here in the forward position, that Dark did not go after this monastery. Maybe the presence of the castle shoot him away, but it definitely does look like there might be enough room here for 5 or 6 knights. But you know what? If he's engaging under a town center and taking fire, might as well engage in here. Teef one more relic, Mr. Yo style, and then get your units up to a +6, 16 attack on a castle age knight. Can you imagine the damage? Well, you can imagine, because that's exactly what we saw here. Let's see conversion count. I mean, this economy is ridiculous. This is what happens when you let any player on any civ have the map control. 21 buildings destroyed to 0, 7 conversions out of 83 is what, 8% or so of the yeah, about 8%, I think. Yeah, around, I'm trying to do the math. For some reason, I thought it was more than 10, but that doesn't make any sense. No, it's about 8% of the army, of the Mongol army, and the other conversion, 2 out of 105. Okay, so not really a big deal losing 2 units, but losing 10% of your army is 8%. Oh my good. Oh my goodness. I ate too much salad, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. In any event, a lesson as to why you should never let the Lithuanian have free reign out on the map, especially when there are maps that come with 5+ relics, because this is exactly what's going to happen. And kudos to our Mongol for trying to put on some pressure. He is going across the other side of the map. He did try to come here, but there were those skirmishers. And like I said, because your skirmishers do move a little bit faster, they can be a bit more mobile as a defensive reactionary force. And so doing that having that feature does allow them to be more mobile and keep your base secure, especially against cavalry archer civilizations like the Mongols, for example. And that is exactly what happened here to the north. So ACCM not getting any damage whatsoever. I was going to say not getting the damage he needed, but 0 villager kills is not getting the any damage, period. And it is Dark, our Lithuanian, who rushed up to Castle Age, pumped out that monastery, used it to get 3 relics, and with those relics pumping out those ridiculous 15 attack knights in the Castle Age, who just pushes a little bit too hard against the Mongol. The Mongol can't respond. He's down 70 villagers, down 18 army count, half the army size, and half of that half is all the way on the other side of the maps, and he's losing another town center, and he can place down castles, little zones of safety for all he wants, but you can never keep your villagers 100% safe, especially in a minute. You're going to see cavaliers, and then the attack, the HP, all of that stuff jumps up huge. And with that jump up huge, that huge jump up, I guess is the right way of saying it, it is Dark, our Lithuanian, who takes the W, but GG in a brute force trauma game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.